NFL Week 3 is upon us, and with that, we have picks for every single game here this week. I've got the Jets taking down the Patriots at home. Look, I think this is going to be a closer game than a lot of folks think, but the bottom line is the Jets have more firepower. I trust in their quarterback situation a little bit more. They do have some things to get cleaned up on the defensive side of the ball. I think that playing against the Patriots offense gives them a chance to do that. They're going to have to slow down Ramondre Stevenson a little bit more than they have the first couple weeks against the rush, but I think that the Jets will get it done in a close game against the New England Patriots. Browns versus Giants. Giants are taking their show on the road. Not much of a show so far against the Cleveland Browns. I've got the Browns winning this one. I don't think that their ability to control the football against the Jaguars offense last week was representative of who they really are. I think the Jaguars defense struggled to get off the field early in that football game, but I still give the Browns the edge over the Giants because they do have a dominant defense, in my opinion, and I think that they have a little bit more semblance of an offense that can be functional. So I've got the Browns at home. Packers at Titans. This is a really interesting one, right? The Malik Willis revenge game potentially. Packers taking their show to Nashville. I think that the Packers win this game. It's going to be close, though. I could see it going either way. Until Will Levis shows me a little bit more, I'm just going to have a hard time taking the Tennessee Titans. And looks like they're having some internal issues already with this new regime. Chicago at Indianapolis. I'm taking the Bears against the Colts. Took the Colts over the Packers last week, which was a mistake. The Colts defense is really struggling. Their pass defense is struggling. Anthony Richardson is inconsistent right now. Bottom line. Talented offensive line, some talented pass catchers, very good running back, and it should be a good running game as a whole. I think it's a close one, but I've got the Bears taking down the Colts in Indy. I think Caleb Williams is able to get things going a little bit more against this Colts pass defense than he has so far this season. It's not been pretty for Caleb Williams and the Bears passing offense. Their pass protection has been abysmal, but got to pick one of these two teams. I'm taking the Bears. Houston at Minnesota. This is one of the games of the week. I've got the Vikings winning at home. The way they're playing right now on both sides of the football is so impressive. Sam Darnold is looking like that guy that you expected when you took him at the top of the draft when you're in the New York Jets several years back now. What was that, 2018? So yeah, Sam Darnold playing great in this Kevin O'Connell offense. Brian Flores dialing it up defensively. I've got the Vikings winning a close one against the Houston Texans. Eagles at Saints. Great matchup. The Eagles were on the doorstep of winning against the Atlanta Falcons last week, Monday night, just a few nights ago, really. But some questionable decision-making on offense at the end of the game. Like we go aggressive, then we go conservative. Very disappointing. And the Saints are running a roughshod over everybody right now. Is that going to continue against the Philadelphia Eagles? I don't think so. I think the Eagles are going to get it together, hand the Saints their first L in week 3. Chargers at Steelers. Another really fascinating game between two teams that are 2-0, undefeated so far. Two teams that I think before this season, you kind of expected them to both be in the hunt, but maybe not leading the hunt, at 2-0 early on. I've got the Chargers taking down the Steelers in Pittsburgh. I just think that overall, they've got a better quarterback situation, and that's kind of where I'm leaning. I think both teams have good defenses. The Steelers have a more dominant defense. Both teams are playing pretty good football. But the Steelers, they struggle to put up points. I think the Chargers are going to be able to get that one. Broncos at Buccaneers. Don't have to belabor the point here. I've got the Buccaneers winning that football game. Panthers at Raiders. Same thing. Raiders are going to win that one, in my opinion. The Panthers are really struggling. Andy Dalton's going to start. It looks like I didn't even know he was still in the league until they decided they were going to bench Bryce Young. Dolphins at Seahawks. No Tua Tagovailoa. It's in Seattle. Having to travel cross-country, West Coast trip. I've got the Seahawks winning that one. Ravens at Cowboys. This is a really good matchup, too. I think, the Ravens are desperate to win a football game now at 0-2. The Cowboys, they're 1-1, coming off of an embarrassing loss to the New Orleans Saints. I'm going to take the Ravens. Desperation mode is going to help them get a victory in Dallas over the Cowboys. But as I've said for most of these games, outside of the last 3 that we looked at, it's a competitive slate this week. It really is. 49ers at Rams. The Rams are dealing with a bevy of injuries. Now Cooper Kupp's going to be out. for a couple weeks at least. So I've got the 49ers winning that football game. Detroit at Arizona. I know a lot of people are going to be on Detroit. I probably am going to pick Detroit. I'm going to pick Detroit, but would not be surprised at all if the Cardinals give them a run for their money. Chiefs at Falcons. I'm going to take the Chiefs. I know the Falcons, they got to go in late a little bit, but they're going to need to play a little bit more consistently before I have them taking down the Kansas City Chiefs. Jaguars at Bills. This is definitely objectively a difficult game to pick, in my opinion, because the Jaguars have owned the Bills for whatever reason. I think from a matchup perspective, there are some advantages the Jaguars have. I think very low confidence. I'm going to take the Jaguars in this one. We'll talk about it next week. Cincinnati Bengals, Washington Commanders. Commanders at Bengals. I'm going to take the Bengals to get a W. Not playing their best football yet, but they did take the Chiefs to the brink. They probably should have won that football game. I think that the Bengals are just ahead of the Commanders. Commanders still have, even though Jaden Daniels is playing some good football, they still have a lot of question marks defensively, offensive line. But yeah, going to take the Bengals in that one. So to recap that, we've got Jets over Patriots, Browns over Giants, Packers over Titans, Bears over Colts, Vikings over Texans, Eagles over Saints, Chargers over Steelers, Buccaneers over the Broncos, Raiders beating the Panthers, Seahawks over Dolphins, Ravens over Cowboys, 49ers over the Rams, Lions beating the Cardinals in Arizona, Jaguars beating the Bills on Monday Night Football in Buffalo, and the Bengals taking down the Commanders also on Monday Night Football. 2 Monday night games this upcoming week. Really appreciate y'all tuning in. If you enjoy the content here, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Let me know what you think about these picks in the comment section below. Y'all have a good one.